I think that you and I both were looking forward to the Eddie Kingston, Butch, Blade going against Lance Archer and the Lucha Brothers match. To me, I felt like this was a match that, like you mentioned earlier, we thought this was going to be the main event for most of the week. This was going to be the one that really had the most buzz around it. To me, dude, when I look at the way these groups present themselves whenever they're on screen, the Bunny she's been such a great asset to the Butcher and the Blade. Such better utilization of her talents in this group than being a part of the Nightmare family. That sadistic, nasty side of her really helps kind of drive home that like we want to hate this team.
Right.
Kind of that old school heel manager vibe that has gone away, but like in the line of, you know, Sonny and you know, Sherry Martel, like all these characters in the past who really have been that beautiful vixen who like cheats and is evil, right? Sadistic.
Yes.
I love that. And even in Eddie Kingston, every time he's on screen, man, his facial expressions, his reactions, the way he interacts with other characters, he's just always emoting. He's always on. He's never going to be one of those guys who's caught not throwing a punch or, you know, acting like he's just waiting for a move to happen to him, just because he's always on his game, dude. This match last week going into it, I was saying this was an example of iron sharpening iron. I think that these guys are going to put on, this is not the end of it, dude. Like there's going to be so much
far
good.
from it.
Oh, there's going to be so much good television that comes out of this, dude.
And that's what, like I said last week and the week before, that building a new main event core with these 7 guys, you know, minus Pac, and sadly, like he made this triumphant return and this hype and all this. Like now, where is he?
I don't know.
You know, you have an A-list superstar like Pac.
You can't start and stop like that. Yeah,
you cannot start. You have to keep the momentum going. Even what, you know, as soon as Penta got thrown through the table, I thought Pac was going to come out and kind of replace him.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That would have been sick.
That kind of is where I was like, okay, Pac hasn't been around. He needs to be around. This is kind of a perfect placement. Or even at the end, just kind of repeat what Lance Archer did. So I don't know where he is, and it's a bummer because you cannot start and stop, like you said. But to the match itself, you know, these 7 guys, including Pac, are a awesome main event core that we need to see more of. The crossbody by Lance once again over the ropes.
Were you geeking about that?
So I put on our Instagram, Dynamite Download Instagram, and I said, who throws a better crossbody, Lance Archer or the Butcher? Because the Butcher threw a crossbody too, and I was like, dang, okay.
Against
so it's
Phoenix?
It's the battle of the crossbodies. So I don't know who I would want to take a crossbody from more or not.
You know, let me piggyback off of that. There's 2 things I want to say off of that. First, dude, Butcher is a big guy.
Yeah.
But you forget how big Lance Archer is until he's in the ring with a guy like Butcher, dude. Like Lance Archer's freaking huge, man. Like he looked massive compared to Butch, and Butch is a big boy. Like I was kind of taken aback because I'm a Lance Archer fan, and I was just like, damn, that tuna and peanut butter is working for you, Lance. Like you are a big dude, man. I was blown away. And then the second thing off of that was I was watching this match and watching Lance throwing his body back and forth between those turnbuckles, just running full steam ahead into Butch and Blade. Watching Lance Archer throw some legitimately, I think he hit Eddie Kingston in the mouth at one point in this match because Eddie had a little blood, and I could hear and see the pop of his fist hitting Blade's chin at one point in the match. It made me think, who would you least want to get into a street fight with on the AEW roster? And I'm throwing that question at you because I watched this match and I was like, these guys were beat, dude. This match was so physical. Like like you just talked about, Butch throwing that cross body against Phoenix. These guys, the chops that Phoenix was throwing tonight. Penta is usually the lucha bro that I'm geeking out about with the chops. Phoenix did his brother proud after Lucha Pentagon was out. Phoenix was throwing some nasty chops tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But who would you least want to get into a street fight with, SPD?
I have to think about that one and sleep
Come
on that
on.
one.
No, on the
And the
spot.
whole
Who would you
roster?
least want to fight?
Oh gosh.
You're not getting out of it.
Honestly, I think Eddie Kingston, just because his face scares me. His
His face scares you.
when what happened last night when they did an AEW online exclusive between Archer and Eddie, just the look on his face is
Eddie's
scary.
got that grimy.
So yes, Lance Archer is very intimidating stature and everything, the look, the hair, that. But for some reason, the just the whole face of Eddie makes me be like, nope, not even getting involved in that.
Yeah, Eddie's got that kind of like grimy, and if you follow him on social too,
Yeah.
I mean, like he's big into Nas, which back when my middle school days, man, I would love me some Illmatic. I love me some Illmatic, but no, I mean Eddie's got that grimy like New York kind of.
Yep.
He'll beat you up in the back alley and he'll steal your wallet kind of vibe to him. So I can understand that, but man, just based on physical capabilities, I don't want to. I mean, Lance Archer is a monster of a man, and then dude, the flying cross bodies that he can throw. I'm just blown away by what this guy is capable of in the ring, and to think that he's just getting the recognition that he's getting now. It's kind of wild. I mean, he's certainly. I think that he's at his peak. You could tell he feels confident in his abilities now. You can tell like he's grown into his body. He's definitely that is a big talented dude. I know that he's a nice guy in real life from what I see anyway on social media. I'm a big fan of his. He's really kind to his fans online. But I think that his blend of size and strength and speed and athleticism and his everybody dies mentality where he dude, I don't know. I wouldn't want to mess with Lance Archer. That guy is a beast. So I was blown away by that. The overall match itself gets an elite out of me just because to me, like you talk about establishing a core of guys you can get into. I was bummed that Penta got hurt.
Yeah, me too.
And was out of the match. I think but that was a really nice way of telling a story in this one, right?
It made sense.
You and I have talked a lot about, this being a long-term feud. Think about how much great television that you and I want to see out of this matchup, right? So having certain instances like this happen where, Lance and Ray lost, but they showed out and they held their own in basically a handicap match for the commentator team. Again, I was giving the commentators props. Commentator team mentioned a lot, this is basically a 4-on-2 match with the way that Bunny got involved and the way her distractions and kind of getting in people's faces and getting physically involved in the match too.
For sure.
So this was an example where they protected the long-term feud by giving us a match that we want to see, but not necessarily letting it play out fairly. So we still want to see it again,
Yeah, and that is a good point by you. On paper, this is nothing against anybody on the roster, but on paper, you put Lance Archer and the Lucha Brothers on a team together, no one should beat them. So, and same thing with Pac. If you added that, those type of trios.
Well, we had that poll
are
tonight.
Unstoppable, and we had the poll, and then we have the other poll that I did on our Instagram with the best cross body. Right now, Lance Archer is in the lead. He's got a pretty good lead in that one, but Ray Phoenix is just so amazing in the ring.
Yeah.
He is so fun to watch. And he put on a great show. I was struggling with my top performer of the night. And, in ring, I thought he was doing some incredible stuff.
He wowed.
It wasn't, there was some low points for me in the match, kind of slow, but overall, it definitely gets an elite out of me. I mean, these guys have been consistently putting on great matches week in and week out, whether it be singles matches, tag team matches, 3-on-3. And it just, not to beat a dead horse, it just bothers me. Like, where is Pac? But, the end of the match, it protected everyone. Lance and Ray got the loss, but then Lance kind of stood strong at the end. So it really did protect the feud long term. And so that was good storytelling in that sense for me.
Yeah, I think that it's all about the story with this crew, and I think that Lance Archer leaned into his animosity towards Kingston in the match, and especially with that great camera angle that we got, where he was like in the corner and like kind of rubbing Eddie Kingston's face into the turnbuckle, and you could tell that they were leaning into that, and I think the storytelling is going to carry this feud for a long time. Me as a Pac fan, I was really bummed not to see him tonight, and I am worried. I'm worried about the negative social reaction that came after Tony's tweet about being game changer and changing the landscape, and a lot of people not being receptive to it. I'm a Pac fanboy, and I think that Pac he's my favorite wrestler in the world. I have a lot of people that I really like, but Pac's my favorite wrestler in the whole world, and I think that he's incredible at what he does. And so him being kind of teased, in and out of this group, even though I love Lance Archer, it's not the same. The Death Triangle, everybody dies. Triangle is not the same as the Death Triangle. I'm sorry.
No, I agree.
So I miss Pac a lot. But there's great storytelling here, and I think that long term we're going to see a lot more of him. And as long as he's in this grouping, like you said, I think that the AEW is doing a great job of focusing these 7 guys against each other. Iron sharpens iron. I'll say it again and again. When you got guys this talented going against each other, it's just going to bring out the best in them.